Hello, this is a walkthrough for Guided Project 2-2. This one's dealing with the Hamilton Civic Center, and we'll be looking at completing tasks related to health seminars, member challenge, and the daycare program. Right, so the first one we're going to do, again, you'll want to rename this to Your Name Excel 2-2, and then we can get started. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is to create a naming schema. Highlighting under Seminars, B6 through B10, we're going to come up here and we're actually typing the name Seminars. We're coming over to Data then, and then we're going to highlight A2 through D10, and we're going to name this V underscore calories. We're typing in the V because we're calling it a vertical array, right? So it's listed top to bottom. Next, we'll come over here to F2 through J3, and then we're going to name this one H underscore fees for a horizontal array of fees. Now we're going to enter and copy a division formula. We're going to click on cell D2 here. Right, we're going to calculate calories per minute equals. We're going to click on C2, number of calories, /sign for division, and then click on cell B2. And the number of decimals that are able to fit in the cell are displayed. We're going to drag this down. Okay, we're going to ignore the autofill options button this time. Okay, now while cells D2 through D10 are selected, we're going to decrease the decimals. Right? So we're going to do it 2 times and get it down to 3 decimal places. So, as I said, this sets the number of decimals the same for all. Next, we're going to use an H lookup, so a horizontal array lookup with a range name to displace fees. Coming over to our seminars, we're going to go over here to our fees column here. Right, which is cell C6. If you want to follow along here, we're on number 4 now. We're going to use the formulas, lookup and reference, and it's going to be the H lookup, or you can just type in H lookup. Right, so we're going to look up a value. We're going to select cell B6. We want to know your numbers. Table arrays, we can type H underscore fees. Row index number, well, what row we're looking in. Well, if we remember the data, the second row was the actual fees, and the range lookup. And then we press OK. We should get $15. We're going to copy this down to C10. Now we're entering an addition formula. Okay, we're going to click on the cell E15 here, number of attendees for know your numbers. So we're going to say this is equal to the number of people from Henderson General, right, plus the number of people from the Advocate Central, plus F6 plus G6. And we can press enter, and it comes out to the nice number 47. Now we can fill this down because it's going to go in the same order: cardio, cardio, pamper, pamper. So as we fill down, you'll see that the references align for the row we're working with here. Finally, we need to set the total. Okay, so we need to do the auto sum button, or you hit sum. But here, if we say auto sum, it's going to automatically apply for us. We'll hit enter. It'll say 209 attendees. Now, the next thing is to work with an order of operations. Coming on to E24, the total fees collected. Well, number of people we have times the fees That's the total fees collected. Right, so it's fees multiplied by the sum of the attendees at each hospital. So we'll be looking at total fees collected from each hospital. So what we want to say is equals, we're going to select cell E24, or actually C6, sorry, the fee itself, multiplied, parentheses, and then we want to say D6 plus E6 plus F6 plus G6, parentheses, and enter. Now let's say we have a prompt or parentheses. I would want to make plus signs, press, and there we get to 705. Another way you can do this is saying, okay, it's equal to cardio and strength, multiply the number of attendees for cardio and strength, 46, and we get to 552. Now it's because we're multiplying something that already has formatting for currency. Our answer has formatting for currency. So again, equals 15 times number of attendees, 705. And we can fill this down. And then again, we can do the auto sum and press enter, and we get an automatic formatted $2,849. Now looking at the precedence, right, we can say here, know your numbers, tracing precedence, and because we use this number and this number, we're showing us this one way here. If we're doing this one, we're tracing precedence, and we can say tracing dependence because it's going back because it's being used here. If we want to remove the arrows, we can just click remove arrows at this point. Now, one other thing we do is we just double check to make sure our numbers are right. So we added these columns up here to get 47. So we can double check. We can highlight the cells. We can say sum is 47, sum is 47. And even down here we can highlight these cells. The sum is 2849, the sum is 2849. So it is correct. Now let's work with the Vlookup, or the vertical array lookup. We're going to click on our data sheet here. We're going to click the name box arrow. And we want to select V calories. It's automatically going to highlight the calories here. We'll notice that calories are in the third column. Come over to calorie tracking. Let's take a look here at our calories. Look, let's fill this in, looking up from the data worksheet. So we're going to click on the Vlookup. Again, you can go up to Lookup and References and Vlookup, or you can just type in equals Vlookup. But this way you don't get all this information unless you press the actual function key. So we're going to say lookup value. Well, we're going to look up this activity of running. Lookup table. Well, we're going to look up V_calories. Right, column index number is 3. And then we'll press OK. And it's going to give us the number of calories. We can copy and paste down by filling down. But the problem is then, all these are different, right? So we're looking up this specific thing, referencing back to the table to make sure everything is correct. Now we can say sum if. So we can look at summing all the cycling together. So we click cell D28 here. Right, we're going to do a sum if equals sum if. and they want a range. What is it that we're testing? Well, we're testing this range for what criteria? We want it to be equal to cycling. And if it is equal to cycling, what do we want to do? We want to sum this range, close parentheses. And so then, therefore, 795 calories by cycling. And then we can follow this down. Only one thing is, you'll note that, see how this is shifted down? So, before we go this way, let's come up here. So we can come up here to the function button, and just make sure this is accurate here, right? Let's do this again. So we say this is sum if, that's if this is equal to this, then we sum those fees, right? So we want this to stay locked. So we want to make sure we're working from C3 to C23. We want to make sure we're working from D3 to D23. And as we fill down, you should see that all these stay the same then. Now we're going to go back to our calorie tracking here, and all these should be correct. And no need for formatting here. Now we'll go to our if function, right, to calculate a fee based on age. So we'll click on our daycare and our fee. So here, age 1 to 3, daily fee is $20. With the 4 and up, the daily fee is $18. The younger they are, they generally require more work, so they can charge more for those individuals. So now we're going to look up the if function. Okay, so we can say, go up here to logical and search for if, or we can just type in equals if. Now, if we want to actually get in with the insert function arguments, we can click on this function arguments here. What's the logical test? Well, if we want to type in it manually, we can say if the age is greater than or equal to 4. So one thing we have to do here is say actually the cell. So we're saying if B5 is greater than or equal to 4. If it's true, we're going to charge 18. If it's false, we're going to charge 20. Right? Or we can just say, if true, we can reference this cell. If false, we'll reference this cell. And then press OK. So, one thing we want to do here is, if we fill this down, these cells will change again. So let's come up here to our function, and then let's lock this, F4 and F4. Press OK. Now as we fill this down, the references won't change. You'll see that it's still referencing this number here, the age, and these fees. Then let's change these to currency, because we're dealing with dollars. And since we don't need to really worry about it, let's get rid of some decimal places there. So the last thing we're going to do here is, or one of the last things, we're going to insert the current date as a function. So we click on our data sheet, click on cell A12, and then we're going to press equals TO for today, enter, it's going to enter today's date. Finally, we're going to do a new sheet in here. Click the Use in Formulas button, right, which we find in the formulas. We'll use paste names. Okay. And then paste list. We'll auto-fit each column. And then that's it. And then we can save and close our workbook. And so at the end, it should look just like this, where we have our information filled out. Our calorie tracking is completed. Our daycare list is filled out. And our data sheet, as well as our final sheet with this information included. You'd save it, you'd upload it, and you'd be done.